Alright, what is up YouTube? It's K-Rod here, back with another good video. We are going to talk about Felix Verdejo versus Masayoshi and Nakatani. Oh my god, this is such a crazy damn fight. And I have to say, I really, really wish Felix knew how to throw more defensive counter punches and get away from big shots. But unfortunately, Felix, he lost. Nakatani knocked him out. After being knocked down twice, I believe in the third and fifth round. I'm not too sure. Basically, Nakatani, he got broken down by Felix. And it looked like Felix was just about ready to get Nakatani out of there by the third or fifth round. But, you know, even though that he did drop him a couple times. Nakatani somehow blew a second wind and in the seventh round got Felix really, really hurt. And then after that, leading into the eighth round, he got Felix hurt again. And I believe leading to the ninth, he dropped Felix the second time or the first time. And then when Felix got back up to fight again, he got knocked out. Where, you know, he was being dumb. He wasn't even getting away from Nakatani. He wasn't using his like, you know, his movement. He literally just let Nakatani just pull off a Roy Jones Jr. on him and just literally clap him. And yeah, Felix got KO'd, unfortunately. But yeah, this is really bad because one, Felix, he's a great boxer. I really like him, not just because he's Puerto Rican and I have the descent in me to say that. I really do say that because Nakatani is that type of guy where he deserves everything but respect. But Felix Verdejo was damn he was dominating Nakatani the whole damn fight. And I mean, I really wish Felix could really look back at this fight and then say, wow, only thing I really needed to do was to actually just outbox him for the last few rounds when he actually did get hurt the first time in the seventh. And yeah, I really do think Nakatani wouldn't have done anything to Felix if Felix just used his damn foot movement. But there's really nothing I can hate on Felix because Felix basically just fucked himself over. And, you know, that was all his fault. Where he wasn't really thinking. He was just making it so predictable for Nakatani to just come in there and bang. And yeah, Felix, he basically, you know, fell back into his traps with the Antonio Lozada fight. You try to bang with, you know, with the person that you're fighting, and then eventually Felix gets hurt by that one punch that he doesn't see, and then boom, he just gets wobbled. And you know, like I don't really disrespect Felix. He's you know, he's a hell of a fighter. But please, my dude, really utilize like your defense, because I can see why people make the criticisms towards Felix that, oh, he's not that good of a fighter because of his defense. Well, Felix can fight, but the problem is that on defense, he needs to be more technically sound. And when he does that, he'll easily become a world champion. But with this fight being a huge loss on his resume to a guy that went the distance with Teofimo Lopez, yeah, that's really sad because, you know, what else is really next for Felix? I mean, there's plenty of options. He's not out of the game. But it's just like, this is such a huge loss on his resume. And I mean, there's really nothing you can say that's bad about Felix, because he's a damn good fighter. But let's just take a look at these rankings. Even though that he's probably gonna, he just went down six placements on BoxRec. But if Felix were to come back, you know, there's plenty of options for him. He can go after maybe Masasuke Ito, or beat up James Tennyson. Or, I mean, he could run it back with Nakatani. I would think that would make a lot more sense, you know, in the world. But I'm going to talk about Nakatani's future opponents after this with Felix. But he could fight, you know, plenty of guys, man. You know, he has everything in the bag. He knows what he needs to do and achieve to get back up on on the championship train. And I think when that's all said and done, Felix can solidify his legacy a lot better. And I mean, he has a really good record, 27-2, only got KO'd twice. And I think honestly, it's really just due to sloppy or crappy defense. And he really needs to establish proper defensive maneuvers to get away from big punchers like Nakatani. And don't get it twisted, Felix, he's a big puncher too. But it's like he's making all the wrong decisions to keep himself in a position where he gets knocked out. And sadly, this is where Verdejo gets thrown down because he wasn't utilizing his strength for defense when he allowed his weaknesses to catch up to him because he started getting careless in the later rounds and he got, taken down. So I would really hope Felix can look back at this fight and actually work on defense more. And yeah, you'll be back on, you'll be back on the world title stage. But my dude, like, you can't be losing to I'm not even gonna be disrespectful, but you can't be losing to a whitewashed Cinderella fighter, Masayoshi Nakatani. Nakatani was supposed to lose. He was supposed to lose last night. Ever since I saw Felix get hurt, I'm like, dude, I love Nakatani, he's my boy, but Nakatani literally was in like samurai mode. He was in that Mortal Kombat brutality transformation that you see in MK Shaolin Monks, and he just literally wiped the floor out of Felix, and he literally made a statement. And I mean, Nakatani even predicted that he would get him out in 5 rounds, but by round 5, he got knocked down, I think twice or something. Actually, no, we could take a look at it right here. Nakatani was down in round 1 and 4. Felix down twice in round 9, which he got KO'd. But yeah, that's a crazy ass win because he actually came out of his way to make a huge comeback and just literally drop the floor on Felix. And Felix, he wasn't feeling good after the first knockdown, and sadly he just didn't make the adjustments to actually get away from Nakatani because obviously Felix, he is the shorter fighter in this fight. And Nakatani has basically 4 inches over him. Yeah, 5'10", 5'11". No, actually 2 inches over him. Yeah. Oh, 5'11 and a half. But no, I'm just gonna go 6 feet. Yeah, he's technically 6 feet. He he ain't no 5'11 and a half. But yeah, he has 3 inches over Nakatani or over Verdejo, and he got the job done. He literally just put Verdejo down, and that really made things very difficult for Felix. And sadly, Felix got knocked out, and Nakatani came with a crazy victory for his people of Japan. I never really tend to see a lot of Japanese fighters at the lightweight division, but I think this is really going to make a lot of bigger changes coming to the future, because if these Japanese fighters do get better, it just wouldn't surprise me, because people tend to overlook Japanese fighters, and they just think Japanese fighters are just one-dimensional. They can't hit, they can't actually use any defensive mechanisms. And even though Nakatani, he was getting his ass pounded by Verdejo in the early and late rounds until he made a huge comeback in the 9th. This just comes to show that Nakatani is a force to be reckoned with, and I would really hope that actually does become a thing, because Nakatani is definitely on his way to hunting down Teofimo, or probably going after other names. But I can even tell you that the names that he should be facing is Javier Fortuna, possibly fight Ryan Garcia. That would be a good fight. Richard Comey, very good fight. He's in the top 5. I'd say go after Devin Haney. Devin Haney, he's available. Devin Haney and Nakatani, that would be a very, very good fight. And the only thing I say that is because Nakatani, he got long arms, and I think he has like what, a 70 something arm reach, yeah, 71-inch arm reach, and then Haney, actually no, Devin, he has a, oh yeah, well, yeah, stylistically this is gonna be a little bit tricky for Haney, because like the reason why I say that is because Nakatani, he has, like the much more lankier frame, and he can get Devin to an uncomfortable position if Devin were to get hit by Nakatani's left or right hook. But either way, it's just really, good to see this type of fight, because one, Nakatani is taller than Devin, but at the same time, Devin, he knows how to outbox and outsmart opponents. So I think Devin Haney and Nakatani should definitely come into the works, because although people would say Devin Haney should not be fighting a guy like him, he should be fighting a guy like Lomachenko. I honestly, if I were Devin Haney, I would go with Nakatani, and then I make my way towards Teofimo or Ryan. Well, I mean, Teofimo is going to keep ducking Devin Haney, but I think if Devin Haney wants to get that WBC or no, WBA or whatever mandatory position to go after Teofimo, probably go after Teofimo's contemporary Nakatani, and then that will prove a point to Teo to say, hey, I beat up Nakatani for you, and come fight me. Which I understand, like, that's not really the best way to go, but let me fix it up to say, if Tank Davis or Teo ain't gonna give Devin a fight, Devin needs to stay busy. So Devin needs to either fight Ryan after Ryan beats Luke, but I don't think Luke is going to give Ryan an easy fight. Luke can easily upset Ryan, but if I'm Devin, I should be looking at these two fighters, Nakatani and Fortuna. But if these two fight, Fortuna and Nakatani, then it just wouldn't cease to amaze me of what Devin Haney is going to come in the works with either of those two. And then if Devin doesn't fight those two, he could fight Isaac Cruz Gonzalez, he could fight Michelle Rivera, he can fight, a whole line of these fighters. Hector Tanajara, give Felix a shot. I like to see that. Yeah, even though, I don't want to talk about Rolly, but Rolly would be... Nah, Rolly would just be a shutout, but that would be interesting. And I say that's it. I don't know, because Devin is basically on his way for success in 135, and I just don't know what else could be the next step for him if he were to overlook of what happened this past weekend. Sorry about that, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. What do you think Nakatani's path should go to? And, what do you think about Felix Verdejo coming into the mix? I think this is a very interesting fight, and I definitely had a lot of fun watching these fights. Also Shakur Stevenson and Toka Conclary, that was an easy shutout. Toka Conclary had no answer for Shakur's jabs and body punches, and Shakur just literally outboxed him inside the pocket all night long. But I'm gonna probably talk about those fights, and yeah, this is basically my post-fight review of Masayoshi Nakatani versus Felix Verdejo. Alright, yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say. I'll talk to y'all later. More videos coming soon. Bye.